This is the battle for Kharkiv, as seen by those who fought it.
Выходим, за машину!
The Kraken battalion are taking fire near the village of Ruska-Lazova. This previously unseen footage taken last week is a window into a critical operation to reclaim territory from an enemy at the gate of Ukraine's second city. We travelled with the Kraken unit into the same village as Russian artillery continued to hammer what's left. They've come to treat 87-year-old Ivan Gavrilovich. He knows firsthand what razor-sharp shrapnel can do to the human body. As the soldiers patch him up, he tells me how an SS officer nearly killed him in 1941, and now he's survived a Russian onslaught 8 decades later. He shows me his carefully tended vegetable garden, the horticulture punctuated by howitzers, which nearly killed an old man who thought he'd seen it all. Across the street, the remains of a hospital looted by the Russians as they retreated. Their parting gift thankfully didn't detonate. But Ukrainian soldiers are more certain of destroying their targets. This shows a Russian T-90M tank being taken out north of Kharkiv. Its extra armour no match for Western-supplied anti-tank weapons, which are proving decisive. Normally, an invading army tries to secure bridges as it advances, but here the Russians were forced to blow one up as they fled. We travel along the deserted ring road, which marks the extent of the Russian advance. Their military misadventure here is plain to see.
И когда колонну разбивают, бывает такое, что даже остатков тел нету, потому что просто сгорает все дотла.
Drone! Drone! Then suddenly we spot a drone above the road and warn the Ukrainian soldiers.
Drone! Drone! Drone!
Russia frequently uses them to convey real-time information to pinpoint artillery and rocket attacks. Shooting them down is not easy. Our route out is blocked by an operation to put out a fire at the side of the road. Finally, we're able to leave the area, but the drone now appears to be tracking our vehicles. It's following us. Go, 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 go. Go! A few hundred metres on, we stop and see the fire brigade are leaving in haste, knowing they too could be targets. The drone is still hovering over there, and the soldiers appear to be trying to shoot it down. But that's a strategic crossroads on the ring road that goes all the way around the north of Kharkiv. And it wouldn't be surprising if the Russians are trying to assess the Ukrainian city. You see a lot of cars now fleeing back into town. These days, the centre of Kharkiv is much safer than its northern suburbs, but it still bears the scars of almost 3 months of siege. A city which stood firm even when almost encircled. The price of resistance extracted by Russian missiles is astonishing in some streets. But nowhere paid a higher price than Saltivka. The blocks of flats here face a front line which is still active, forcing the few who remain underground.
Ночью было, да.
Сегодня ночью,
да? Сегодня, а прошлой ночью это вообще кошмар, раза 5 или 6.
The mayor says 30% of residential buildings have been damaged in this city, most hit by Russian munitions, but some struck by the Ukrainians to force the invaders back. This is a potent symbol of Ukrainian resistance here in Kharkiv. When the Ukrainians found out that a Russian special forces unit was hiding out in this school building, they unleashed all the firepower they had. And this was the result. We find a young doctor making a video for colleagues who've seen the worst of this war. A love song to a city which survived. Kharkiv's siege is broken. Its people are not. Dan Rivers, ITV News, Kharkiv.